Hello there, everybody. This is Alex from Hardcorian Guides, making my guide for Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 on Master Ninja difficulty. Today we're doing Chapter 15, a Quickening Devastation. For us, no. For them, yes. So, what was Chapter 15 about? Well, oh, now I remember. I kind of forgot because I forget the order of these chapters. So starting off, level up whatever weapon you wish to level 3 or level 2 or whatever you have. Buy whatever you need, all that other fun stuff, because this time it's going to be 3 bosses in a row. That's, yeah, about, I think like 3 bosses in a row. I mean, we're going to have a couple fights in between, but are you guys ready for the last 2 chapters of just, well, last 3-ish chapters? This is chapter 15, not 17, or not even 16, I mean. Oof. Yeah, well, anyway, now we have to fight the quote-unquote lesser of the boss fights. We already finished the Tengu brothers in the last one. They're gone for good. And now we have to clean house with Marbus, I think his name is. And then Sidonius, who's a complete fucking asshole. And also Voof, I believe, is in this chapter. So yeah, we get to finally clean them up for good. Take out the main fiends. So, starting off, Eclipse Scythe, level 2, it doesn't really matter what weapon you really use. Dragon Swords are good enough, too. Because, for the most part, with Dragon Sword, you can just, triangle attack, and they can't really do anything. But, I say Eclipse Scythe, so that way you can just get the zoned, nice, good shot, and then potentially get, like, a, D1 and, well, OT. So, that'll take care of these guys. They're relatively not too bad anymore, considering the fact that by now, one, you're probably used to them, and 2, you have a level 4 Dragon Sword, so there's really nothing to potentially, complain about too much. So for this, stand back here behind this tree and just start using your bow and just blast them. What I'm doing here is I'm just mashing the R2 button and I'm just moving backward at the same time. You want to be moving so that way you don't accidentally get caught in the fire of this guy back here. The bigger, greater fiend that is back there. Because for the most part, I think he starts off flying anyway, so you just want to make sure you don't accidentally get hit by that. Alright, so if you get D-limbs, if the fiends show up, or the Gajuks, I think that's what they're called, if they do show up and they're D-limbed, that's great. OT, same thing as always. This may be very boring, but for the most part, this is relatively safe. Problem is with these guys that you can't really mash the bow on them because they have this thing with, like, they bob up and they're, like, while they're doing that, they're invincible. And it's unfortunate, but, that's just the nature of the game, baby. That's just how it is. Flying Swallow also works wonders against them, too. Typically. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's completely random. After you've done that, you get a nice, free, good checkpoint. Thank goodness. Kind of funny. Well, no, actually, no, it's good, because you get health back. So, alright. Marbus, or Mardus, or how you pronounce his name, whatever it was. Starting off, just go ahead and Inferno the fiends. And you want to make sure that he doesn't get the essence out of it. In order to make sure that he doesn't get it, you can either charge up your UT or just simply walk close to it. But for right now, what we're trying to focus on is you want to just get rid of these guys first. Get rid of the lackeys first, completely wipe them out, and just ignore him because he doesn't do much. Well, don't completely ignore him, but keep him, like, in the back of your mind. Make sure he's on camera, basically. And then after he does that spin in the air, he's going to launch downward, and, like, once he finally stops spinning and he's going to launch toward you, hold the block button, hit the analog stick forward, and then go underneath him, as you'll see right now. Bam, there you go. Go underneath him, hit X and square for the windmill technique. Try not to stay to his left or right because he has a free grab that's very painful. That is not a grab, that's just a dash attack. It doesn't do much. But even then still, it's just enough to do a good bit of damage. You want to make sure that you at least hit all 3 of these guys at once. If not the boss specifically, but just the 3 fiends, so you don't have to deal with them. However, another thing is with, this boss in particular, is he can actually throw fireballs that do kind of mess with the fiends a little bit. And that's kind of partly why I say just keep him on screen. Also, if he does get essence out of it, that's fine. You just wait like a split second and then dodge under him. It's the same thing again, but this time he just stops for like another split second. But yeah, you'll see like when he's going to do his attack, you'll see like a slight glow. And then from there, That's when it's going to launch downward, and yeah, he's actually one of my favorite bosses, honestly. At least in Ninja Gaiden 2. I freaking hated him in 1. But at least with 2, I have his boss pattern down pat. And you know what's funny is, like, for me, like, what makes a fun boss fun is when I know how to beat the boss, and I'm capable of beating it almost every time. Like, a good boss is a boss that challenges you at first, but then, like, you slowly figure it out, and then once you've beaten them, you know... Well, I mean, that's not every boss. Like, not every boss has to be hard or challenging. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, I just find him a really cool boss. But Elizabeth? No. The reason why I like Elizabeth is because she doesn't have multiple different ways of take... Okay, she does, but for the most part with her, it's mostly just cheese. And I feel like bosses that need to be cheesed, at least most of the time, just aren't really good bosses. I mean, granted, you don't have to do that, but, like, it's just one of those things of... For me personally, I've only ever really just done cheese tactics against her, and I don't like Elizabeth. Genshin I do like because at least he's somewhat of a humanoid character. Yes, I'm using the Lunar Drop stuff, but when I first played this on Master Ninja, I decided to actually not do it and just go for regular, you know, like trying to fight him honorably. But then for this guide specifically, I decided to use a Lunar Drop because, well, you know, I'm here to help you guys and make things a little bit easier because I understand that this game can be kind of difficult and also intimidating too. And hell, I was intimidated by this game, and now look at me. I've beaten this game twice on Master Ninja mode. And practically going through a third time just because to get the chapter challenge crap. So, yeah, I mean, granted, like, once you beat it once, like, the confidence definitely grows. Also, Bo doesn't really do anything. These guys move around too much. So just either UT or just regular level 4 Dragon Sword swipes. That kind of thing. But yeah, these guys, I remember, are whatever they are, automatons or whatever. These enemies here, they are surprisingly more simple than I remember them being, because I remember, like, when I played this on PS3 back in the day when I first played it, I remember having kind of trouble with fighting these enemies specifically because they were just so aggressive and so hard to figure out their patterns, but really their pattern is just stay back, charge up a UT, stay back at a good distance, and they can't really do anything. Especially that dive attack, it doesn't go that far either. You can either just charge UT or just, you know, simply swipe at them, because as long as you keep them in a combo, they can't do much either. Especially with the Dragon Sword we have now being a level 4, which does, you know, a considerable amount of damage. Also, even though they do blow up, I guess the neighbors are probably home or something. I don't know, somebody honked their horn. They do that. It's weird, but they didn't honk the horn, but, you know, they clicked the thing. So yeah, distracted me from my video. Damn it! Why didn't it pop up in the video? I don't know. Probably not, most likely, but still. All right. So next up is these, you know, the Flying Fiends. Just if you want to knock them down, I'd recommend going for the Inferno. And when, you know, if you ever get the chance, go for Bow. Flying Swallow, again, still works wonders. For the most part, if you don't get a chop at least in 4 or 3 or 4 Flying Swallows, that's probably a good sign that it's time to try something else. Because, like, every once in a while you'll get a chop, but sometimes you won't. Like right there, I got like an instant chop, but sometimes I just don't because the game is, it's just like that. I think maybe there's like a height thing with it. Like maybe you have to be at a certain point. I don't know. But either way, there we go. Kill them off. Save your game. We're going to have another wave of enemies to deal with. So nothing too bad. I think it's... Oop, I'm shaking my leg. I probably shouldn't do that. I think they're... Yeah, the Luster Fiends. Here we go. Just run back. Charge up Idma's Fang. UT, or any UT really for that matter. I'm just using Idma's Fang just for this. For personalization, and plus, it makes me look original, right? Because, like, at least I'm not using the Dragon Sword all the time. I'm certainly using it quite often, but I'm not using it every single fight, so there's that. Once again, relatively easy stuff. Triangle attacks work wonders. That kind of thing. There you go. He's dead. He showed up out of nowhere. even after I saved the game too. But enough, if you save the game after you kill off a couple of those lesser fiends and then you die, I think he actually doesn't reappear. It's weird, so... there's that. Oh, here we go, Zidonius. Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright. Starting off, whip out the Hardcorian flail and just go ham. Go ham, get your stuff back from these guys. Knock the ghost fish. Make sure you use the bow to shoot one to get them toward you to, you know, aggro them. And after they're all cleaned out, go back to whipping out the dragon sword because you're going to want to use flying swallow to get across. And here's the thing. So you jump across, bam. From what I've heard in the original Ninja Gaiden 2 of this game, apparently the lava would actually make it to where you get stuck in it. So, starting off with Zidonius, instantly jump to your left. Come over here. Don't worry about the lackeys. They're fine. They're not going to come over here. Jump straight to the left, and we're going to take on Zidonius by ourselves. Now, that fire wave attack right there, and that laser attack is what we're going to be focusing on the most in this fight. I will admit, I got extremely lucky. So, let's narrow down Zidonius' bullshit. Alright, starting off, that laser attack leaves him open for a good amount of time. It's super telegraphed, it's super easy. When he does it, if you have the chance, if he's doing the laser attack, get behind him and swipe at him. If he's throwing fireballs, just, you know, dodge him like you do. When he does his wave thing, he puts his hands down, and here's the fun trick with it. When he puts his hands down like that and he launches the fire wave toward you, when it's coming toward your way, and it's like super close to you, like almost about to hit you, press X and square, like not right, see right there, I fudged it up, but the first one I did, I didn't. So, you know, look, like, rewind the video if you need to see exactly when I do it. But if you do that, at the perfect time, you can actually avoid it. Don't use Emma's Fang UT, or any UT. The fire wave knocks you out of it. That attack right there, when he flies in the air and he launches back down, same thing with the X and square at the same time. So when he's about to land on the ground, press X and square, and you get a nice little easy evade for it. You could also jump and then press triangle to kind of keep yourself in the air for just a little bit longer. That kind of works too sometimes. I don't know for every weapon. I've tried it for Emma's Fang and it works. So, yeah. This is where things got a little goofy. So he just stays flying. It probably won't happen for you. It happened for me. So... you know, I want to make this as close and relatable to anybody who's played through as possible. But yes, what you're trying to bait out is you're trying to get him to bait out his laser attack so you go right in for a good, full-on, multi-hit triangle, you know, full combo, and that's Zidonius. It actually only took me like a couple of times to beat him this time because now I've finally learned how to beat him. So yes, the major important thing for this fight is actually the beginning. You want to dodge to the left to get on the left platform on the very left. Because that way the lackeys get stuck and they can't do anything. If you go anywhere else, they will follow. If you go to the left, they won't. There you go. I learned that from another video. I don't know his name. I don't remember which video it was. But if they see this video, shouts to you. I'm sure you probably know who you are. They were using the Tiger Claw and Fang weapon for it, but I wasn't. There's also that too. If you use the Tiger's Claw, like basically the dual swords, if you use that, you could do the Azuna attack. So like where you do square, triangle, square, 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 and you could pretty much like get close and avoid him. But for me personally, I'd recommend just doing like only really attacking when he's doing his laser. Like if you don't feel confident with attacking him at any other time, just dodge his laser, because he usually just shoots his laser where you just war. Dodge his laser and then follow up with triangle hits and just get some nice clean pop shots on him and just run away and wait for him to do it again. Or wait for him to lift up a pillar from the ground and do it that way. But for the fire wave, yeah, X and square when it's like about to hit you and you should be able to avoid it every time. Starting off the centaurs, charge up red UT, bam, dead. That's it, they're gone. That's 4 down. Now we have like 3 left. I think it was like 3 left. Charge up UT every time. They're done. Next up is Voof himself. I think at this point I actually had a talisman on hand. And this one is incredibly a harder fight. For some reason, like a complete dumbass, I decided to whip out the Eclipse Scythe and try that on him. But it doesn't work. So, I recommend not doing it. There's a couple ways of fighting Voof in general is... whenever he if you can bait him to do a charge, you can dodge to his left and like get behind him, dodge to his left or right. I recommend going for the left side. Dodge to his left and then get behind him and do like a couple of hits. But for this specific playthrough, I go with the Lunar Drop combo. And yes, thank goodness I had Talisman, because if I didn't, I would have been fudged. And that's really the only time I really get hurt that much. So that grab right there is almost nearly impossible just to figure out. It's super untelegraphed. It's crazy. That one is telegraphed as hell, but the other one just really isn't. So, what's another thing you can do? Piercing Void, level 3. Works wonders on him as well. However, you want to do Piercing Void only when he's really going for attacks, because if you do it when he's not attacking you, he'll pretty much just like negate it and block it like outright. Sometimes he negates it, sometimes he doesn't. But at this point, you're about to win the match. So who cares? It's not chapter challenge. You're not getting rewarded for having Nimble at the end. Just use it all and blast him. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just go for the lunar attack and he's done. So I'll see you guys in chapter 16. As always, take care, everybody.